estate advisor. My name is Hamp Thomas. Today I want to talk to you about AVMs, or automated valuation models. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about these computerized, quote, valuation services. Consumers are flocking to these sites by the millions every month, and they're flourishing even in this down market. Now, many of them like to use the term appraisal in their advertising, even though they should never be confused with a traditional appraisal. It's not a broker's price opinion, and it's definitely not an appraisal. Let me ask you this. What is the most important commodity to the real estate industry? Well, the answer is information. The most valuable asset that we have is information, our information. The information of the real estate professionals, not data that comes from the local tax department. Well, this information is not free. You worked really hard to get this information. You paid money. You have invested your time and money in getting this information, and now most of us are rushing to share it with all these national companies. They take information that's free from the public records, and then we're giving them our information for free. So everything that these national valuation services need, they get handed to them on a silver platter. We need to remember that the realtors are the MLS, and that the MLS should provide the voice of real estate, not a national valuation service. Let's talk a little bit about comparable sales. Well, when an AVM is looking for a comparable sale, it's all about proximity, not comparability. Think about that a second. Proximity, not comparability. What does that mean? Well, when an agent or an appraiser is looking for a comparable sale, we're looking to compare the whole package. The most similar style, location value, age, quality, square footage, amenities. We're trying to compare the whole package and trying basically to compare apples to apples. When an AVM is looking for comparable sales, they're looking for the distance from the subject property. Their idea of comparables could be built in 1930, 1960, 1990s, or it can be new construction. It's all about the distance from the subject property and not necessarily the comparability of the dwelling. Well, these types of comparable sales are leading to over and understated values, and it's really providing consumers with a false impression of what current market values are. Well, we have to educate consumers that these services are based on public records. Let's talk a minute about the one common denominator in all of these AVMs. If you'll pull up 4 or 5 of these national services and look for one number they all have in common. The square footage total is the exact same on every one of these services. It comes from public records. Now, we've talked about this before. In public records, every number is based on a verifiable fact, all except for one, the square footage total. The square footage total was never designed or intended to be used as a detailed source of comparison. It's created as an estimate of size only for use from the tax department. It was never intended to be used in the real estate industry, and they're taking the tax information created for their use and forcing it to work in their information system. It's basically the old round hole in the square peg. It just doesn't fit. Well, we're also busy trying to build bigger websites and better blogging and getting so much into this technology stuff. We forget sometimes about that the information is what sets us apart from all these other internet mega companies. If somebody wants to know a ballpark value, by all means, call one of these AVMs. If you really want to know the true value of your home, you have to call a real estate professional. You have to call a realtor. There's never been a more important time to use the services of a real estate professional. This is your single largest lifetime investment. Don't trust it to a computer program. Call a real estate professional. Call a realtor.